Greetings, welcome, namaste to Music for Global Change broadcast.
Music for Global Change. Creating music that inspires the world. Welcome to the Music for Global Change broadcast. And now here's your hosts, founder and music ambassador Skyler Jett with Deborah Fenella and Tom Bryant.
Now, really excited and really blessed as well to have amazing people waiting very patiently behind the scenes to be interviewed. Now, going all the way across to East Grinstead, we have the amazingly talented celebrity, singer-songwriter, founder of Music for Global Change and conscious singer and composer, Skyler Jett. Hi, Skyler, how are you?
I'm feeling blessed with no stress, you know?
Oh, bless you.
And I'm staying away from the devil's mess.
That really doesn't rhyme, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's a good one, Skyler. I like that.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah.
And also all the way across to Portugal is waiting very patiently as well from Black Mamba, the lead singer, Pedro Tatanka. So good afternoon, Pedro. How are you?
Hey, how are you feeling? I'm great here. It's a pleasure being with you guys.
Oh,
it's a pleasure to see again my good friend Skyler as well.
Yeah, man, you know. I love that, brother. Yeah.
Oh, we're so excited and blessed to have you on the show because you've been so busy, haven't you, Pedro? And also recently, you've also been in the Eurovision Song Contest as well. So congratulations with your amazing bands. So please tell all of our viewers how the opportunity first came about, please.
So it was great, you know. Here in Portugal, we elect the representing artists by doing the same kind of festival here. You know, it's a contest, and then a jury with a televote, the peoples, they elect the representing artists to go to Eurovision. So this year I was invited to write a song. I decided to sing it as well, and it was like a blessing because we've been away for almost a year and a half from stages and from being with people, with our audience, with our fans. It's been a mess this last year and a half. So it was like a blessing to win Festival da Canção here in Portugal and to be the ones representing Portugal outside here at Eurovision, because it was a big opportunity to share our music to the world. Yes. And, you know, there was like 200 million people watching the finals. I guess it's insane.
Yeah. So it's a lot of people. Was you a bit nervous on stage? I mean, I'm a budding singer myself and conscious singer. I mean, the biggest audience I've had, I think it's been 5,000 people that I sung to. But it's quite sort of like sometimes a bit surreal when you're on that stage. I mean, how did that feel for you?
It was a huge responsibility, you know, different one from the ones I used to have, you know, because I was not representing myself or the band anymore.
Yes.
We were representing Portugal, and that's the biggest responsibility. So that's what made me more nervous, I guess. It was not about singing for too many people, because I'm used to sing to many people, to big audiences, and but to represent a country, a people, you know, your people, your culture, your values is different. So I guess I felt the pressure, but I guess it made me sharper, you know. Yes. It made me like my instincts were like really sharp. So I guess it was a unforgivable and unforgettable experience. Mm-hmm. I guess none of us are going to forget this experience. I guess it's different. It's different from anything else, you know.
Yeah. And your country must have been so proud of you and your family as well. And I'm really proud of you. And say you are all phenomenal, and you've done amazing. You know, in
Thank
your
you so much.
Bless you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, when did your band first get together? Was it 2012 that you all first got together?
We first got together in 2010.
2010.
But by then we were performing at small clubs in Lisbon, at bars and all that. And we used to do this kind of repertoire, like covers and versions of our idols, like Stevie Wonder, Sly and the Family Stone, that Skyler knows well. Even the Commodores. We used to do a Easy Like Sunday Morning back then.
Oh, I love those songs.
All right.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, but after a while, I decided it was not for me, keep on doing others people's music, So
Yes.
I always been a writer, and I always wanted to show my music to the world. So we decided to quit it and to record our first album. That it was in 2012, and it was insane because a few months back we were performing in small bars in clubs in Lisbon, and like a few weeks after we released our first album, we were performing at one of the biggest festivals in the world that's called Rock in Rio. They have an edition in Rio de Janeiro, and they have an edition here in Portugal as well. So, and then the same week we went to the United States. I never to perform there, so, and to record it in Brooklyn. So it was also fast. It was amazing back then. And then after that, we released 3 albums. We're working on our next album. It's going to be called Last Night in Amsterdam, and it's going to be based, and it's going to be based in some different characters' stories that I invented. Some even the song that I took to Eurovision was the first song to that album. It was the story about this old lady that used to be a street prostitute that I met in Amsterdam.
Yes.
So while we were performing there in 2018, so I met this old lady. It was a crazy old lady, but I met her at the coffee shop, and she briefly told me her story. And she came from one of those Eastern countries in the late 60s or something like that.
Yes.
She managed to flee to free Europe, and she was, full of dreams and all that, but everything went wrong, and she became a drug addict, a street prostitute.
So sad.
But it was the message, despite I was singing "Love Is on My Side," the message, it was not about love, it was about hope.
That's right.
Because she felt that after all that she'd been through, she always felt that love has always been by her side. It was like really inspiring, because I can't imagine how a person that has such a bad experience in life still believes in love, and still believes that love is going to always prevail,
Yes.
So that was really inspiring, and that's the kickoff for this album that I decided to call Last Night in Amsterdam. And so we're gonna try to recreate the stories from this specific era from the late 60s till the beginning of the 80s, while Amsterdam was one of the EP capitals.
Yes.
So it was a lot of people from all over the world coming in and joining forces and philosophies and ideologies and all that. And it was a really prolific time. So I want to meet some people there to tell me their stories from back then. And I want to try to recreate that with this 70s soul kind of vibe,
Yeah.
So that's my plans for the future.
There you
That
go.
would be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, fantastic.
Most
And I
definitely.
want you to be there singing, Skyler.
I'm already there. I'm standing there waiting for you, man.
Now, you
Listen,
did actually sing, Skylar, didn't you, with Pedro and his band
oh my
back in 2016, I believe.
yeah, Pedro and I wrote a song for a film that they still working on, but it's a film about the first Black Formula One race car team back in the 70s. And the crazy thing about it is they couldn't get any sponsors in the States because it was pretty racist in that thing. But they wind up getting sponsors from Volkswagen.
Really? Wow, that's amazing.
That's a German company, and they sponsored. So we're still in the runnings for that. But the beautiful thing is, like I said, I had Pedro on a show with Denise and I. We used to have a show called Solutions Now Radio,
Yes.
and I had Pedro on the show, and he said, "Man, we should get together sometime." And I didn't know at that point. I didn't know I was moving over here to England, right? And when I came to England, Pedro said, "Man, come on over here. Let's." I said, "Well, I want you to write this song with me and do a duet with me on this song." And I get there and he had his whole band play on it. And these guys are so, I got to tell you, Portugal is amazing. I mean,
it is, I've never been myself, but I'd like to go. I've been to Spain.
It's 10 million people, but there's so much talent. And so I want to bring some administration here. I've already talked to my attorney. I talked to a publisher that will come, and two of my friends from the States that work for the Grammys. So I want to bring them in along with Pedro and do some workshops and about how we can get musicians paid better in Portugal. Yeah. And for let people to see just how talented people are in that country. People play 3 and 4 instruments and sing, right?
Wow, that's amazing.
It's so wonderful. But I want to ask Pedro, you got this song you did, this African song. What's it called?
Believe.
Now, how did that come about?
It was like, it's like first when I started to write it, it was something more personal, but I guess it fits the reality we're living now. So we're consuming a lot, way much than we need right now. So we were recording our third record, and I just managed to buy a farm. It was one of my children's dreams, Yeah. So I managed to do that at a very young age, and I managed to build a studio in my house. So that was some other my other dreams, that I always had to have a good studio at my place. Yeah. So, but I was like uninspired, and I was looking at all the things that I fought so much to have, and I was thinking, I have everything that I've dreamed of, and why am I not feeling inspired or happy with all these things I have? So it started there, and then I took it to a global kind of message, because from nowadays we here in Europe, in the States, and we have much more things that we need to have, so we're consuming a lot, and we still have a lot of people dying with nothing to eat in Africa, in India, in all of those countries that, and the curious fact about it, it's most of those countries have the materials, the raw materials, for us to have this way of living.
Yes.
So, but they are the ones dying, starving to death, and all these diseases and all, So, but we here in Europe, in the Eastern countries, in the first world countries, so they call. We have much more things that we need, man. We just need love,
That's right.
We need
It's all about
our
love.
family to be together,
Yeah.
and we need some money to have a comfortable life, you know. But we don't need 80 cars. We don't need two
Exactly.
helicopters. We
Yeah.
don't need. We don't need that.
Yeah.
We don't need that. So that's the main message, I guess, about this song. And then I spoke to this incredible, talented film director, Portuguese, a friend of mine. I guess you met him because he was our sound engineer as well, Skyler.
Okay. Yep.
He was on. He went to do a ONG kind of thing, voluntary, to shot a documentary for this ONG here in Portugal, that acts in Mozambique, country nearby South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
So he had this amazing documentary shot, and I wanted to have some strong images of people being happy with almost nothing.
Right.
So that's what I asked him. So he had a lot of footage of that, because if you go to Africa and you film something, it's that.
Yeah.
You know, all those kids have nothing, have no shoes, and they're smiling to the camera.
That's right.
And they, you know, we can be happy with less.
Exactly.
I guess. So that's when it became more conscious, global kind of thing, the message, because of the footage combined with the song and with the message that I tried to put out there.
I love that you did that. I mean, you know, when I look at, because I work in Africa too, and when I look at all the minerals underneath their feet, you know, you got gold and diamonds and bauxite, just so many, that oil, right? They have all the riches underneath their feet. And I can't understand why their governments are not turning that into money for themselves, and instead of having other people come in, take it out of there and go get rich, right? Mm-hmm. Use it yourself. Go get the excavators, whatever it is. And I mean, I hate that, seeing that they're walking around with no shoes. As a matter of fact, on my Music for Global Change festivals, I'm gonna ask people to bring a pair of shoes, because a lot of people got 15 pair of shoes and they don't even wear them. No. And to see these people over here, you know, with no shoes on, right? We could take care of that. That'd be a cool thing for Black Mamba. If we can find a way to get it over to Africa, that'd be great. They bring the shoes, they get maybe $5-10 off the ticket for bringing the shoes, and we help people from different countries. Everybody should have some shoes if you want to, right? Mm-hmm. But like you said, you know, if you got 80 cars or something like that, and you only need one, same way with shoes, right?
Yeah.
And same way. And hey, did you meet Tom Bryant? You met Tom?
No.
Oh, yeah, it's my buddy, right? Tom, I'd love for you to add. What would you like to say to Pedro?
Other than it's a privilege to even be this side of the camera for a change. I'm normally the other side. Normally I'm more of a production side of things than presenting. So I'm just turning my hand to presenting now. So hopefully, I'll do a bit more of that. But yeah, it's a privilege to have you on. And just want to say, for your music that you produce, are you? I'm just phasing in and out here.
Yeah, there you go.
How do you get your ideas for your songs? Is that personal experience what you normally write about? How would you create your music? Is it something you normally would do?
It depends. Sometimes it's, you know, something you're feeling, something personal, something about your own life. And sometimes you try to look at things and trying to look at it in other possible ways, you know. You know, a green tree could always be a green tree, but it could be, if you look at it as a house for the birds, You can look at it at many different ways, you know. So that it depends. It depends a lot. This new record I'm writing on, it's like a conceptual album.
Mm-hmm.
So it's different. It's me trying to imagine these characters like it would be a movie or something like that, you know. So some of these characters, most of them, does not really exist, you know, or never existed. So I'm trying to write like a fiction kind of thing right now. So it's different, you know. It's not nothing personal. It's like just me trying to create characters and to put them in a specific time, and to write a narrative with these stories, trying to combine at some point.
Yeah.
But this is different. You know, but many times I write personal things that I feel, because I think it's the best way to get feelings out of you. You know,
Yeah.
it's things that you lived, that belongs to your personal experience bag. You know, so that's, I guess that's my favorite among all the ways that I have to write.
Yeah. And when you've written an album, have you tended to kind of do you write more than one thing at a time? Are you got so many ideas that you're writing various tracks at once, or do you concentrate on one track, and then when that's finished and completely done, then you move on to something else? How do you work on an album as against just one track? Is it one track at a time, or?
It depends a lot as well, because sometimes if you don't have the time and you have to get an album done, you got to be working a few hours in this song, you got to be working a few hours on the other song to get it done. Now, you know, you learn a lot throughout this process of writing and producing and recording albums. So the mistakes you did in your last album, you're trying not to do the same mistakes, not to make the same mistakes again. So you're always learning. It's a learning process throughout your life and your experience while recording. So now I have the capability of planning, of a better planning, you know, of these whole processes. So now I'm trying to pick one song, finish that song, and move to the other one, so I can be totally on it, you know,
focused on.
What do you think about you know, I've had this concept, as you know, for a long time, music for global change, and I believe lyrics can change lives, right?
Yes.
And I love that you did believe, because we need to show all parts of the world, because music is the #1 language in the world. And what do you feel about the concept of lyrics that heal, educate, and solve problems?
I guess it's a very, very powerful tool that artists need to use more often. Nowadays things are getting a little bit of plastic kind of thing, you know. Big artists, you know, you can speak for all of them, but mostly they are singing good hooks with good sounding words, meaningless things, you know, meaningless thoughts, you know, just they just have to sound right and appealing to people. Because people are consuming very fast, you know, now everything is being consumed very fast, so it's got to be straight to that point. So I think the meaning of the words, even if it's not about conscience, social conscience, or the meaning is getting lost some point nowadays with pop stars. But it's a very, very, very important tool to people that has such big audiences, so many people looking at it, listen to them, to try to, it's really important to use that tool to try to make people think, make people think about things and make people improve. You know, sometimes it doesn't have to be necessarily the lyrics. You know, if you're using your music to help people in many ways, it's global social conscience as well. It's global change, as you say, as well. Even if the lyrics doesn't have that specific meaning, but you're healing people.
That's right.
I just read a comment on my video a few days ago, and I was really happy because the comment was like this: music saves lives.
That's right.
It does.
So, but the lyric content is really important. It's a very, very powerful tool that should be used more often, and trying to make people think, you know, trying to make people think how things could be better for everyone.
That's right. That's right.
It's true. Now, with regards to your singing, Pedro, how old was you when you first started singing? And do you come from a household of budding singers yourself?
I didn't get the last part of the question. Sorry.
Sorry. How old was you when you first started to sing? You know, did you start as a child singing? And have you got any budding singers in your family too?
No, in my family, no. My father teach me how to play the guitar when I was a little child. Yeah, at the age of 7. He was not a professional musician. He's a landscaper, but he has that hippie vibe back then, you know. Every night people would gather around the fireplace to play, you know. Some of them were playing just the djembes or congas, and the others play the guitar and the harmonicas, you know.
Yes.
So I grew up with that, and I started first by playing guitar. It was 30 years ago, I guess. So, but then when I gathered my first band on high school, there wasn't you know how those things work. You know, we don't have a bass player. You go to play bass. You put somebody to play the bass.
Yeah.
So there wasn't any singer, so I became the singer back then. But for the first 10 years, I guess I was more concerned with the guitar, not that much about the vocals, and I looked at myself much more as a guitar player than a singer. So after that, when I started the Black Mamba in 2010, that was back then when I became professional. So that was the time that I started to sing to bigger audiences, to a lot of people every night practicing it. And in the first year that I was doing that, I noticed that people were much more into my voice than into my guitar.
Wow. Yeah, it is wonderful too. Yeah.
You have a fantastic voice.
You do have an amazing voice, bless you.
I decided to switch my attention, you know.
As a child growing up, who was your inspiration as a child growing up? I mean, quite often when we're growing up, and I mean, I've been brought up with around music anyway. Who was you sort of inspired, you know, as a child? Who inspired you as a singer, songwriter, and performer?
I guess first thing that I really got hooked to was the Doors when I was 7. Jim Morrison.
Amazing, the Doors, aren't they?
I was like, first time I heard him, I was, you know, thrilled, and I was like completely obsessed about the Doors. And it was like well, when I was 7 or 8, maybe. And I guess all these years, looking back to that, all these years have passed, and Jim Morrison is really one of the best lyricists, American lyricists of all time, poets and all that. So I was not wrong.
That's right. That's right.
I was not wrong back then. So after that, it was Bob Marley.
He was amazing, phenomenal as well.
It was a Bob Marley, I guess.
Really
My father used to tell me like, it could be at any gender of music, any kind of music. It would be Bob Marley. It happened to be reggae because he was Jamaican, but it could be like Bob Dylan as well. It was really amazing the simple way to say such profound and complex things in a simple way with such beautiful melodies. He's an icon. He's an icon, you know. He's one of the best. And still when I go back to Bob Marley again, it's like, even the songs that everybody knows, you know, they really move me, touch me, you know. So those are, I guess, are the most inspiring songwriters that I had. Hello.
This is Joe Leavy.
Pedro. Hi, Deborah.
Hello.
Hey, Skyler.
Thank you
Hello,
so much,
everyone.
Joe. We're really excited to have you because, as I say, you're actually
Tom.
all the way across from America,
Tom.
aren't you, today?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
good afternoon and welcome to Music Global Change. Now, Joe
Thank you,
is
guys.
phenomenal
I'm so
singer,
excited.
songwriter,
I'm so excited to be here.
and conscious composer. And you've wrote many songs as well as Pedro and also Skyler, more so I can imagine than myself, to be honest. And so you do phenomenal work as well. And you're also a conscious singer and composer. And you've also composed a song with Skyler called Arms Around the World. And I believe that Skyler actually inspired you.
No, I didn't write. No, that's his song.
That's your song. No, sorry.
That's his song.
But you wrote the song Arms Around the World, but Skyler did actually inspire you to go down the path of conscious music as well.
Most definitely. Most definitely. You know, Maestro Skyler Jett is a gift to our whole nation.
He certainly is.
Not only is his work brilliant, but just knowing him and talking to him in the way that he encourages me to be socially conscious is important, because I grew up in the era of social consciousness.
Yeah.
So when I see how music affects people, you know, I really believe that you are what you eat, as does Skyler. So I have a duty to represent the good things that music offers. Yes. And in my country right now, you know, we have the highest prison population. We have more guns on the street than we have citizens, and we have the highest murder rates of any modern country in the world because of our diaspora. And what we're eating is violent, it's misogynistic, it's racist, it's murderous, and that's a profit margin. And that's what happens in America. People put profit over people, and they don't care about the country and what happens and how we've devolved. They just want to keep making money. And it doesn't matter that we have millions of people in jail, millions of people on drugs, millions of people are raping and child, traffickers and all this stuff that's going on in the United States. They don't care. They just want to make the money. And to the extent that I can, yes, ma'am, to the extent that I can, I want to let people know that love is really where we are, and we're all the same. We're all connected, and that's what my music is about. That's why I love Maestro Jett, and that's why I'm so glad to be here with Pedro and Tom and you, Deborah, and all of you guys. And we're all on the same mission.
Yeah.
And we can change the world, Joe, can't
around the world.
We can change the world, and every song has a story, and conscious music is waking up the world, because people are waking up more consciously, and they're starting to see the light in so respect where they need to change, and peace is the answer. Music can save the world, but first we start with ourselves, and as we start with ourselves, then we can make a difference in other people's lives as well, and kindness is the way forwards, and that's the first step to actually take. But with regards to the song, it's like wrapping your arms around this world. world. Let's heal this world, and music for global change and conscious music. And that's where Skyler does phenomenal work, same as you, Pedro, and you, Joe, as well. And I'm really, truly blessed and so proud to be talking to each and every one of you here today. I mean, I'm a Reiki master, so I'm a healer, and I dedicate my life to be of service, to make this world a better place and encourage others that they too can shine bright and bring about positive change. And that's what you do with your amazing work, Joe, and same with you, Pedro, and you, Skyler, too. So I just want to say a huge thank you to each and every one of you, namaste, for the amazing, phenomenal work. And you don't realize how much of a difference, Joe, that you are making in America through your music and helping people, you know, to actually just stop and take a look at themselves and how they can change and turn their lives around, because everyone's got the opportunity and the ability to bring about change, but first starting within themselves and maybe changing direction in their lives and allowing themselves to heal from past trauma, from the past and experiences that they've gone through in their own lives, and take those necessary steps forwards to bring about more love, more peace, more harmony to this world, and more unity, which I think is really important too.
It is very important. And you know what, just to reiterate my respect for Maestro Jett, you know, he could have called anybody. I mean, he knows literally everyone in the music industry.
Yes.
And he could have called anyone, but he called me. And so I'm so gratified and I feel so grateful to just be on his radar, that he, you know, found something about my music that touched him. And he was like, man, I'm working on this music for global change. And we talked about this a couple of years ago when he first started on this journey. He was like, man, I'm all over the world. And I was like, dude, I love what you're doing. It wasn't even about me trying to help. I just loved what he was doing. And I sent some songs to him. He was like, man, this is really good stuff. And that's how we got started. So I feel really honored to be amongst all of you because of my connection with Maestro Jett. And thank you for inviting me, Pedro. I really want to learn more about your music. Same with you, Deborah and Tom. I really need to connect with international, because I believe we can put our arms around the world. That's why I wrote that song. And there's a video that goes with it, and the video is just really beautiful. It just shows the commonality of all of us in every part of the world.
That's right.
But if you listen to our setup here in the United States, you know, we're the best and everybody else is underneath us.
No.
And that's not a world message.
No.
That's a message of division and destruction. And that's why our world is being destroyed.
Yeah.
Because the profit people just want money. They don't care about us.
That's right.
And so we really have to take a stance and stand up for what we believe in, and for love, and for family, and for protection. Because they're, you know, they if they could make $1 off of it, they'd kill every one of us. It would profit them. Yeah. So I'm really embarrassed, because I love my country. Yeah. I love the United States. Yeah. But it's not a place, you know, we don't even say the national. We used to say the Pledge of Allegiance when we were kids. We had an allegiance that we would say. I know you remember, Skyler. Oh yeah. Because it was about trying to become a more perfect union. It was about trying to be unified and let everybody know that we're indivisible. We're one nation. Yeah. We don't do that anymore. They stopped that 30 years ago.
That's insane.
Because they don't want us to be one nation. Now we're black, we're white, we're Asian, we're gay, we're straight, we're vaccinated, we're unvaccinated, but we're everything but.
You know, when I came up with the concept music for global change, you know, for so many years, I can listen to all the American music I want, but it was a trickle down effect. The Beatles, Sting. You know, so you didn't see a lot of groups from different countries. And when I got over here, that's a shame. I said, wait a minute, hold on. What I got with Pedro and his band is just excellent. I mean, amazing, man. And the people they leave there singing the songs, Pedro's songs, right? And I know, because he invited me to come tour with him in 2006, and I went. It's just thousands of people out there to come see the Black Mamba. And I, you know, I'm the only American on the stage, and that's because of Pedro. And I love him so much for introduce me to his country. And I say that whenever I go and perform with him. Thank you for introducing me to your country. You know,
it was a pleasure having you with us, man. And I learned a lot with you, man, singing, because I've been listening to these Afro-American singers from the 70s and all that, but I never listened to one close to me. So, you know, that's my kind of singers. Is the old school Afro-American singers, you know, the Otis Redding, Donny Hathaway, you know, those are the cats I love. So when you got close to me and started to sing, oh, they do these things like that. Okay. And that's the way they do this.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot, and it changed my way of singing as well.
Wow.
In my way of thinking about music as well, because I was younger than when I met you, and my little girl was just born recently.
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
And it was one of those things that changed my way of look at things as well. You know, looking with being more aware of what we need to do, where we need to go to make this world a better place.
That's
and
right.
You started that, you know, you planted that seed in my heart as well when you came here, because you already was so concerned about global conscious message, and so that changed my life as well. No, thank you.
I love you, brother. Listen, you know, it's crazy because I had a little label for a while at a radio thing, and the tricky thing is to watch how music affects people, you know.
Yes.
And when I came over here, I said, what if we got the internet now? What if I introduce musicians from here, like take your tracks, have Joe sing on your tracks, then Joe writes some tracks and you sing on his, right? Because that opens up the whole world. And like I said, I hate driving around. I can hear all the American music I want, but I can't hear all these talented musicians that I've been, you know, meeting over here. So there's 330 million Americans, but there's 960 million Europeans, right? we got the internet, so we can write with each other. You know, we can write just like this, right? And so I love this. When I was going to have you on, I said, wow. And now you guys can hook up. Yeah.
We should do it. Should write a song together and sing it.
That'd be
perfect.
That'd be fabulous.
Just like that Feed the World song, you know, that obviously.
Yes, that was Bob Geldof. I remember that.
It wasn't it? So maybe we should do a song like that. It's funny because I was in the recording studios last week at Skylar Knows, recording my song, Freedom for Us All, and it's all about the Mars slip away and God's plan for the earth. And we started doing like the music video, and it's quite funny because near where I live in Dorset, we've got this place called Eye Bridge, and you've got a beautiful, huge wooden bridge with a river underneath. And I thought, well, what better than do a bit of the music video standing at the top of the bridge, you know, singing Freedom to Us All. And it was really, really busy with lots of people because it's really warm summer's days. So I said to my friend who's a movie director, I said, let's go into the field. So we went into the field and we found another bridge. The next thing I'm singing on the bridge, and there's these cows in the distance. And I'm saying to my friends that were actually holding the banners, Freedom for Us All, it would be amazing if the cows came over. And next minute, the cows are coming over, and as I'm singing, I mean, it was just a classic, to be honest. And they were like our audience. And it was really funny. And then next minute, everyone that was down Eye Bridge, they were all like watching us and getting involved. And it was just amazing. The togetherness, even animals coming together when you're singing, because it's all about bringing positive change. But the song is sending out a huge message to the world. Freedom for us all. You know, we are all one at the end of the day, you know, and love will conquer all. Step out the dark, do not descend and fall, you know, world of illusion caused by mass confusion. And, you know, that's the start of the actual song. And that's exactly what's been going on, like Joe's saying, with the world. Let's change this world. Let's heal the world with conscious music, but through the actual words within the music, explaining how we can change this world. But also, more importantly, what does need to change? And that's where the vibration of the sound will have that phenomenal healing effect, but also healing humanity consciously and helping them to heal, but more importantly, to wake up to positive change. and what better piece is the answer, like Skylar says, but also for the world of music and through unconditional love as well.
This is great that I got you guys on here because I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Here we go.
So Deborah introduces me to what? The king.
Liz Presley, yes. I said I'm going to introduce, and I did, didn't I?
Yeah, she introduced me to Elvis's daughter, Liz Presley, right? And she took a song that I wrote with Eric Daniels, who is the keyboard player for The Voice. He's also Michael Jackson's cousin, right? So the song's called "Music Can Save the World," right? Now I proposed to her. I said, what if we do it like a We Are the World, where we go get different artists from different countries to sing lines on the lead, right? And then I'll bring in background singers from different parts of the world, Nashville, and everybody singing the backgrounds with them. And then I bring in 40 kids, right, to sing the background. But I want to propose it to you guys. I want Pedro and Joe to sing a line in this song. And it's like they did in We Are the World, right? Mm-hmm. And I want you guys to sing on it, right?
I'd love to.
I got some amazing. Count me in, brother. Yeah, and I think
too, man.
I love it. And she told me that she's trying to get Elton John, she's trying to get Gwen Stefani and some other people. But I want you guys a part of it, because what's so cool is Pedro's in Portugal. That looks huge.
I'm dying to see Black Mamba. I got to get to Portugal and check out Black Mamba.
Oh, man.
You should come, Joe.
Dude, that's
one
of my bucket list.
Here, man.
That's one of my bucket list, dude. Man, I love you guys.
As soon as the pandemic goes away, you come, and Skylar, and you both come, and everybody else is invited here. It's very cool.
Thank you.
The food is great. Skylar can speak for himself.
I don't want to leave. You ain't gonna want to leave. I'm telling you.
The food is great, and it's really cheap for you living in London or living in the States. It's much more expensive there than it is in Portugal. So, and people are very kind here. I'm very
sweet.
I'm very proud of being Portuguese, because it's a very peaceful country, Yeah. So we are the only country in the world that started a revolution to tear the government apart, the dictatorship government of Salazar apart, and it wasn't even one shot, one fire shot. It was just roses, cravos.
Right. Oh wow!
It's a flower.
Wow.
Every soldier was wearing a flower in their rifles.
Right.
Wow.
So it was a peaceful revolution.
Yeah.
And we became free after 45 years of repressing government, dictatorship, and all that.
Yeah.
So we're very
about
peaceful.
That in American history. We don't learn about that. That's an amazing story of liberation, and this was the first time I've heard that story, Pedro. I mean, this is what I mean about stories like that.
You can search it on the internet. You can search it for the 25th of April, Portugal.
Wow.
So you can have all the story behind it. It was really beautiful. And he started with the song. The code for the military to start the revolution was a song.
Yes.
It was a song.
Wow.
So they should cue that song. They play that song on the radio, on this specific radio station. And it was the code for the military to move in, and to start the revolution. And it was a song called E Depois do Adeus, and after goodbye, it's translated. And I had the privilege and the honor to sing with that singer.
Oh wow!
A few years back.
Yeah.
We recorded together as well. He's an old man, but he's really cool guy, and he's really important. He's really a symbol of this revolution as well. So you should check it out on the internet, because it's a beautiful story about Portugal as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? So now that I got you guys on, you know, I think it's like 6 courses in there. And Pedro, wait a minute. Before I go any further, say all the guys' names in the band, because I need to give them love. They couldn't come on with you. And those guys treated me so beautiful, man.
You know, Miguel on drums. We have Guy and Pombinho Marco on the keyboards.
Yeah.
PT on bass.
Yes.
And then you met Ricardo, the saxophone player as well.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's quite a character as well.
Oh, I love it.
And you met beautiful ladies, Orlando.
Yeah.
Anna, Patricia, and all that.
Yeah.
All good friends, all amazing, talented musicians and artists.
Yes. So Joe and I gonna come over, and we're gonna bring Deborah and Tom with us, and they ain't gonna want to come home, because like you said, the food is like out of this world. Oh my! They make the best pastry. Yeah. The other thing, Pedro crazy. So he goes, Skyler, we're going to play this club, but we didn't play the club until 12 o'clock at night, right? They don't even leave the house to go eat until like 11. In Portugal, right? So then we play this gig for about an hour and a half, and then we drying off and stuff like that. And I say, okay, that was good, because he lives about 30 miles or something like that.
Yeah.
And he go, no, man, we going to this club. I said, man, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. He said, yeah, it's just opening, right? So we get to the club, and his buddy is a filmmaker. So there's all these people in line, and they saw us coming. They just let us in, right? So after that, we at this place. After that, he go, we going to this other club. It's just opening. What? He says, yes, that goes all the way to like 9, 10 in the morning, right?
Wow.
It's insane.
It took us 1 year of our lives.
Oh my God.
Year.
Oh,
1 year off.
Yeah.
You are actually coming to London as well, aren't you, to perform?
Yeah, I'm planning a show for October. I'm still
Exciting. We'll have to meet up when we Skylar. We'll have to all go down. Do you want to come, Joe, as well?
We got to get Joe over here.
Joe.
Come over, yeah.
Joe, would you like to come over as well?
Oh, absolutely. I'm there. I got my passport. I'm getting vaccinated. I'm ready to go.
That'd be awesome.
Absolutely.
When's it going to be, Pedro, in October? As long as it's not 29th.
We're still not sure. The booker is promoting, is working on that, but it's going to be October for sure. And as soon as I know the date and the venue, because we were planning on doing it at the Union Chapel,
Yes.
At the Union Chapel, but we're still waiting on their answer, because just now the restrictions are over. So just now they're booking again shows, and that's why we're still trying to find a place and a date to go. But it's going to be in October for sure, and it probably is going to be at the Union Chapel.
And we'll do our song Silent.
You're all invited. I don't need to say it. You're all invited.
Skylar and Joe.
Oh, we're going to go.
We're coming. We're going to have a party.
Yes.
It'll be good fun.
And Skylar's going to sing it. He doesn't know, but he's going to sing it.
There you go.
I love it.
Definitely.
I love it.
Get Joe up as well singing. What do you reckon, Joe?
Oh,
all of you.
If he comes, he's invited as well.
Yes.
Man, come on.
Of course, man. Of course, for sure, man.
Tom, do you have a question for Joe?
Do I have a question for Joe? Well, where your influence? What's your main influence for your music? Where did that come from for you? What kind
my biggest musical influence, believe it or not, is are Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, and Ray Charles.
Yeah.
Yes,
those are the greatest storytellers and socially conscious writers of my era.
Yeah.
Marvin was the greatest storyteller, and I learned through him how to be honest in music.
Yeah.
And that's what I loved about Marvin Gaye. He had many flaws, but he put them all out there. He was exposed everything about his life, about his passions, about his love, about his finances, about his drug abuse. He was open about what was going on with him, and that's why his music was so relevant. Stevie Wonder is the greatest to me of all time. I've never heard anyone put so much heart and soul into music, and every single line he ever sang touched my spirit.
That's right.
So when I came up as a kid, those were the guys that I idolized. Of course, Michael Jackson was someone that I idolized, but not for his songwriting ability, even though he was phenomenal. Just his excellence of the Motown era, how they performed and how they carried themselves. I grew up in that era, Motown, and idolizing Stevie, idolizing Ray Charles, and idolizing Marvin Gaye.
When you say Ray Charles, I'm going to tell you two quick stories. My first time meeting Ray Charles was 1977, and I was living in Canada at that time. I was playing a hotel 6 nights a week, and you know, it's probably only 3 black people in the whole town, and so I'm staying at this 5-star hotel, man, and I'm a young guy, and you know, coming down to the concierge, and all of a sudden this bus drives up with all these black people on it. I ain't seen no black people in months, so wait. I'm more excited than the Pointer Sisters, right? And so next thing they come off the bus, hey man, I'm pumped up, right? I say, what you guys doing? Yeah, we playing with Ray Charles, man. We playing tonight at the Pavilion. I said, wow, man. Well, I know all the girls, man. After the show, come back to the club downstairs here, man. I'm playing in the club, right? And they came back. We had a party all night long. Then about 2:30 in the morning, after everybody left, this one guy, his job was to walk Ray Charles out to the piano and take him. He made $500 a week to take Ray, and Ray would hold on to his arm, right? Mm. So it's about 2:30, and I'm, man, it was great meeting you guys, man. I got to go hit the bed. The dude said, hey, man, you want to meet Ray? I said, what? Right. What kind of question is that? So anyway, he takes me up to Ray's room, and I walk in, and Ray's sitting in the corner doing like this, man. He's doing like this, right? So next thing you know,
2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, 2:30. So he go, Ray, this my new friend Skyler, man. He's singing down in the club downstairs and stuff like that. He say, oh yeah, right on, young man. He told me a great singer and all that. And I said, well, Ray, I want to be a star, and I'm ready to go. I was pumped up, man. He said, calm down, young man, calm down. He said, just remember, I've been in this business for 33 years and I'm still learning.
Wow.
After he said that to me, I never had ego whatsoever, right? Second story. So I helped Sly Stone with his sister, Sly's sister, to bring Sly back to the stage for 13 gigs. And the next thing you know, man, Sly had never came to rehearsal. And we've been rehearsing for 3 months, 5 days a week, man. You know, 2-hour show, just like military clockwork, right? So this time, so Sly's ready to go, and he comes into the place, and we're excited, man. We like so excited, we don't know what to do with ourselves, right? So he said, okay, go ahead and play. So we started playing, but we so excited, we playing too fast, right? Too much hype. He said, hold on. he said, hold on. And I'm like, oh shit, we about to lose our gig, right? What happened, right? So he said, you guys are playing the funk too fast. He said, there's holes in the funk. You gotta slow down. So he said, I want everybody to go stand on the wall, put your back against the wall and close your eyes. And I'm like, this is the weirdest recourse I've ever had in music business, right? So I narrow my eyes closed, and I'm like, what the hell what's going to happen, man? He's going to start shooting us and shit. But anyway, he go, you know, I'm going to tell you about my idol. He said, that's Ray Charles. He said, you ever see Ray's left foot? He said, the funk is in his left foot.
Wow.
And I'm thinking to myself, we studying you, and you studying Ray Charles, and you looking at his foot for the funk, right? Those are my 2 stories for Ray.
Right? Really good ones.
Oh man, beautiful, man.
Brother, what a phenomenal artist he was.
Oh my
God.
He was phenomenal, wasn't he?
You know, just reading about his life story, you know, the overcoming the drug addiction and all the things that he went through.
He did.
You know, you have to respect the guy that's gone through all of that and comes out on top, you know. And then the thing about closing your eyes and putting your back to the wall, That's amazing to me, because he wanted you guys to hear the music and see it from his perspective.
That's right.
I think that's what that was about. And I think that's amazing, because I wrote a song called Arms Around the World. And in this, and one of the lines I have is, close your eyes to see the light. Because if you close your eyes, everyone is the same.
That's right.
The only time that we have racist intentions is when our eyes open and we can see people. But if you had to look at people the way Ray sees people, then you see the heart of a person. You can't see what they look like, or you know, you can't see their sex or their orientation. None of the things that cause us to have these divisions. It all starts right here.
Right.
And so for Ray, can you imagine not being non-sighted and having to deal with people and trust people and be? I mean, that's a whole, it's a whole other thing. And I think that's what made him so great.
Yeah. Oh, man, it's so beautiful. Well, you and Pedro are gonna get together, and I'm gonna be sitting on this. I'm getting my popcorn. I'm gonna sit right there and watch the magic happen, man.
How about a ticket?
I love that, man.
We'll be your supporters.
I would love that.
And interview you too.
I'm working on a new song right now, a socially conscious song called "Give It Right," and I cannot wait to share it with you, Skyler.
Yeah.
I conscripted Norbert Stachel. I think you know Norbert from Tower of Power.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just finished the horn arrangement. It is a top.
No, it's I heard a little bit of you had it on Facebook. It's fire. It's total fire, man.
Again, another socially conscious song. Give it right to get it right is about being the love that you want to receive.
That's right. And now
we have to.
Pedro's gonna be playing over here in October. When is your gig? At the end of the month, right?
I've got a gig this weekend, Saturday night, the biggest one in the city this Saturday night. So I'm trying to get ready for that. Then we've got something coming up next month at the at Morgan Hill Winery with Greg Chambers.
Okay.
And then another thing happening in November. So I'm looking forward to playing with you guys whenever that happens.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Man, I love you guys, man. Thank you for coming, man.
Always been my pleasure.
Thank you for
Deborah,
taking the
Tom,
time.
Pedro, thank you guys. It's been a pleasure meeting all of you.
Thank you
so
bless
much. Honestly,
I'm looking forward to sharing music with you. You know, and let's not let this be our first and only time connecting.
Oh no, most definitely. Well, we're friends now, Joe. Anyway, on Facebook, aren't we? So we can put us on there as well and share some music. I'll show you some of mine.
We got more arms now to put around the world.
That's right.
Most definitely. More love, more peace, more harmony.
Keep adding.
Yeah.
And we can change as well, can't we?
Definitely.
Most definitely.
Yes. Yeah. May God bless and keep all of you safe. God bless you guys.
Namaste.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
Pedro, I love you, brother.
Thank you.
Love you, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you soon.
Much love. Much love.
Take care. Thank you. And thank you so much also to you, Pedro, as well, for today and coming on our, a wonderful show. I say you're really, really busy. I know yourself with your band, and keep shining bright. You're doing amazing work. And we can't wait until you come to London. Yeah. So we can come and support you and meet you and the rest of the band.
To meet you personally. That would be amazing.
That would be amazing. And we can actually see you on stage performing with our wonderful Skyler.
That'd be great.
So we can't wait until that time. We should look forward to when you come over. So, please keep in touch, and Skyler will keep us updated as well.
We will.
And thank you so much for your time today. And can't wait to meet you very soon, can we?
Fantastic. Yeah.
Which is fantastic. And thank you so much to you, Skyler, as well, for the amazing work that you do, bringing about more love and peace and harmony to the world, same as Pedro, and also with Joe as well. And can't wait to our next show, which is going to be on the 17th of August, because I do go into hospital on Saturday, so I'm going to have a couple of weeks off, but we will be back on the 17th of August as well. So once again, from each and every one of us, music can save the world, and peace is the answer. Namaste.
Peace and love, family.
Peace and love. Thank you. God bless you all.
Namaste.
And bye for now. Namaste, and see you soon.
Namaste. Namaste.
Bless. Namaste.
Bless up, my brother.
Save the world. Music can save the world. If we all get together, music can save the world. Yeah. Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all come together, music can save the world. There's an urgency facing our humanity.